Hello everyone, this is Evie the Original Master here, and welcome back to another video game review. So today I'll be reviewing Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch, released on February 24th, 2023. So this is a game that I have recently played as of this year, because if you guys are not aware that I am now into the Kirby franchise, and I am trying to play as many of the mainline games, mostly the modern games, as I can. So this is one of the games that I ended up getting for my Switch, and this game is a Nintendo Switch port slash remake of Kirby's Return to Dreamland for the Wii, originally released in 2011, and Kirby's Return to Dreamland is a really important game to the franchise just because it's actually the first mainline Kirby game since Kirby 64 when it was released back on the Wii, and it actually utilizes elements from some of the canceled Kirby games back on the GameCube. So what is the story of Kirby's Return to Dreamland? Well, the story is that Kirby and his friends, King Dedede, Meta Knight, and Bandana Waddle Dee were just having a good time. And and Meta Knight, if I haven't said Meta Knight already, but okay, there you go. But yeah, so they were having a good time basically, and the ship appears in Dreamland, known as the Lord Starcutter, and this alien creature named Magolor has crash landed onto Kirby's planet, and he needs Kirby's help to retrieve the missing ship parts so he could return back to his homeland, Halcondra. And that's basically the main story of this game, is that you basically play through the worlds of the Kirby games in this 2D platforming style of a game. So the way how Kirby plays, it's very similar to the previous Kirby 2D platformers. You inhale enemies, you use their copy abilities to gain new powers and whatnot, and there's also returning gimmicks from those older Kirby games, like Kirby's Dream Land, Kirby Superstar, for example, and yeah. So since this is the deluxe version of Kirby's Return to Dreamland, the art style is a little different. The characters have these thick outlines surrounding them, which looks pretty neat. It kind of has like this comic book art style, and yeah. So what's cool about Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe is that there's two new copy abilities that they've added, which is Sand and Mecha. Mecha is this robot ability that you can shoot fire. You can also shoot lasers. You can fly around. And with Sand, you can create sand. Well, basically, you can just like throw dirts of sand, and you can use it to defeat your enemies and whatnot in the game. So that's a pretty cool copy ability. So yeah, there's also co-op in this game where your friends can either play as colored Kirbys, or they can either play as King Dedede, Meta Knight, or Bandana Waddle Dee, which kind of resembles the hammer, sword, and spear abilities, if you're as Kirby, that is. And yeah, that's another cool thing about this game, is that there's multiplayer. There's this brand new Magolor Land attraction mode where you play through different mini games in Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. You can play through mini games, and if you play through the mini games, you can basically do different challenges in Magolor Land. There's also a brand new Magolor's Epilogue mode, which actually takes place after the events of the main story, where after Magolor gets defeated from Kirby and his friends, he no longer has his powers, and so he has to obtain these orbs so he can gain his powers back after the events of the main story. Magolor Epilogue is a pretty cool mode. And there's also harder versions of the bosses that you fought in the main story mode. So yeah, there's other modes in this game besides Magolor's Epilogue and Magolor Land. There's story mode, which is the base story mode of the game. There's extra mode. It's the same as story mode, but you have less health, and you got the EX versions of the bosses. There's the arena, where you fight the bosses in the game. There's the true arena, where you fight the EX bosses, along with the Magolor Epilogue bosses. There's also like a jukebox where you can listen to the tracks in the game, the music in the game of Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. And that's pretty much all there is. So that's pretty much all there is in Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe. This is a pretty solid game. It was pretty fun. I didn't end up playing through all the modes in the game because I will admit I was getting a little bit of annoyed with the extra mode, especially towards the ending of the extra mode. So I didn't finish that mode, and I haven't did the arena, the true arena, or Magolor's Well, I did do Kirby. I did do Magolor's Epilogue, but I didn't do Magolor Land because it really didn't seem like that was that important to 100% completion of the game. But yeah, this game is pretty fun, and if you do not own the original Kirby's Return to Dreamland on the Wii, this is a perfect substitute. Alright everyone, that is my review on Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe on the Nintendo Switch. It's a pretty solid game. If you are a Kirby fan, and if you haven't picked up this game yet, I highly suggest you do, because it's a fun game, and it will get the job done very nicely. Alright, so that is my review. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time with another video game review, whenever that will be. So, goodbye, everyone.